Welcome to another Craft Angles live. I can see people have started joining in. So let me just. So if you guys could, comment below that you are able to hear me properly and see me properly so that, we can take this ahead. So happy weekend, guys. I hope you can hear me. Welcome to Craft Angles live. Today's Gupshup topic is going to be art journal. So can you guys hear me? Hi, Parvati. So I hope I'm audible and you can see me properly. Great, 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 great. So welcome. Hi Ekta, welcome. So today I thought it was more of an impromptu thing. So I thought let's do, art journal, which is very close to my heart and very close to our customers' heart as well. So today I'm doing more of my comfort zone project. So I hope you'll enjoy it because I'm super excited to show you some of the samples and get crafty. So without further wait, let me just take you to my table. So first things first, before we start any live, the first thing that I like to do is always show you what project we made in our last live, so that in case you guys are interested, you can always look at that, and in case you guys missed out that project, you can always have a look at it later on. So this is the art journal, the altered art journal book that we did in our last live. It has a lot of colors. This is primarily made using patina. So the whole coloring that we did was using our patina paste. Then we used a lot of prima molds. We have done the base with gesso. We have primed it with gesso. We have done a lot of stamping on top of it, a lot of stenciling, and we created the entire 3D structure. So in case you are interested to see how this project came out, you can check our YouTube channel. It's available on Handmade YouTube channel, Handmade Facebook, Khyati Kothari YouTube, and Khyati Kothari Facebook. So we always save our live streams later on for you guys to check out. So also one thing that I wanted to show you was, do you see how beautifully the whole liquid glaze has dried? Last time, it was just 1 day old, so it did not have enough time to dry out. But now you can see how completely it has dried and it has given like that raisin like finish and mirror look. I hope you are able to see the whole finish. So that was the project, guys, that we did last week. Now for today's project, we will be taking inspiration from these two pages that I made. Now, if you guys joined me in our decoupage Crafty Gupshup episode, there I was showing you how to create this cracks and transfer, right? So that is where I had added these two transfers on my journal. This was already painted pages, and this is how I made. So these are the two pages that I made using those. It was already ready. All I did was just added some elements and made those two pages. And these two are personally two of my favorite art journal pages till date, in case of simplicity and how flat it is, but still it looks very shabby chic and very colorful. So I thought, why not make something like this? And we will do it as always in two colors. So we'll do one in blue and one in pink. So you guys can see, how pretty it looks with different colors as well. It should not just always be blues or darks or vintage colors. So thank you, Parvati. It's one of my favorite as well. My father loved it. He was very happy to receive it and he shared it with all his friends. He was super excited to write in it. So that's our inspiration for today, guys. And what I'll do is I'll start off with one of my journals. I'll use this journal. And while we are making this, what we'll do is we will also kind of talk about some of the basics like focal point in art journaling, etc. because it's always fun to, not just talk about the project, but also talk about, concepts. So first things first, before I do anything, because I'm going to do some coloring on top of it, I will gesso my page. So for this, I'm using clear gesso because I want my page to be ivory color, like what it is. I don't want it to be white. So that is what I'll be using here. I'll start off with some clear gesso. What this will do is this will just prime our paper for, transfer, stamping, coloring, whatever we are going to do. Also, we took a poll on Craftangle's story, and a lot of you, till the morning, it was like maximum people wanted to, who use our journaling supplies, are stickers and stamps and colors. So that is what I decided to combine in this project. I know in the afternoon, I know in the afternoon, the people have now rated stencils more. But last time I checked while I was making a project, I could see that a lot of you wanted a lot of you use stickers, colors, and stamps. So that is what I'm using here in today's art journal page, with an added hero that we'll be using, which is going to be transfers. Hi Mona Lisa, how are you? That's it. We are done with gessoing our page and we'll move on to next stuff. I just wipe my hands clean. I am well, Mona Lisa. It's Saturday, so just getting in the mood of weekend. So that's it. We are ready. So my page is primed, and what I am planning to do is I'm going to do this side of the page as these two colors, which is shades of blues and greens, and this side of the page I'm going to do pink and orange. So I'm kind of taking colors which go well with each other, and also I'm using light colors because our inspiration is very shabby chic colors, right? So now to put the colors on top of the page, I am using this smooshing technique, which Parvati had also shown in one of her live. So I'm going to use the same technique and I'll put in colors. Now you could have used, liquid watercolors, liquid acrylics, anything which your heart desires. Why I went with chalk paint is because chalk paint is extremely light colors. You have a range of colors and they are opaque. So that is what kind of my idea was for this page, and that is why I am using this color. And I can then go on increasing the intensity in case I want to. So again, I'm just putting colors. I'm not kind of thinking a lot around it. Yeah. Now you could use this, you could also use a plastic packaging as well. So you could use this kind of plastic packaging, okay, to apply paint. Now you can see I started off with a very light color. That is something which I did purposefully. Now that you know how light to how dark we can go, we can definitely increase the intensity of colors, right? So now that I know I can go such light colors, I will put in more paint and less water, and I will comparatively make it more brighter. Yeah. Now I'm kind of spreading the color because I know what is the size of my journal and I want a bigger blob of paint. So I'm happy with how this looks. We will dry this and then we'll move on to next color. Okay, now let's say you want to add more blue. You can always go back and work in layers as well. Now since chalk paints are also essentially acrylic paints, once dry they are permanent. So you know it will dry permanent and you can kind of create this layered look as well, which looks like watercolor, but it is permanent because you know we are adding acrylics with water. So that was the first color which I used, which was soft sky. The next color that I am using is again chalk paint, which is mint to be. Now this is a very light greenish color, like a mint color, hence the name. I'm putting colors directly because I have already diluted the color with water while I was spreading it with brush. If you want to further dilute it, you could definitely, you know, add more water. And add more green. Some of the color here as well, just for some fun and, you know, added dimension. Now we will, on this side, we are going to use two colors, which is peach sorbet and baby blush. So both of them are again pastel colors. Both of them are chalk paint, so they're going to be opaque. And they are like extremely light color in the color family. Hi Nadia, how are you? Hi Vaishali, welcome. Happy weekend. How are you guys? So now I'm taking some of this peach color and I'll do the same thing. I will put in here, okay, add some water, spread the color and kind of create a splatter look. I want some orange here as well because I want to finally create a vintagey color. So I'll be putting brown on both sides. Yeah, Mona Lisa, it's one of my favorites. So now let's say if in certain areas the paint was a little bit much, you could always, kind of take it away with a napkin. Or if you want to spread it like here, I feel that, the color was less. I can always take my finger and kind of, gently dab it. So that will also spread the color in an organic fashion. So, Nadia, the colors I'm using are chalk paint. I am using these colors because they are opaque and I want to create kind of a pastely look for my art journal page. The color names are Soft Sky, which is blue, mint. So this is the color Soft Sky. This is Mint to Be, which is like a light minty green color that I'm primarily using on the right side. On the left side, I am using Peach Sorbet and Baby Blush. Peach sorbet is like your orangish color and baby blush is your pink color, which we'll be now putting in. Just adding a little bit of water. If you want to further spread it, you could obviously, use a poly bag like so and kind of spread the color. Again, this is like it's an organic way of coloring. You get what you get. So, you don't have to worry too much about the shapes and colors. Trust me, guys, like you will get beautiful, unique look with these colors. Like it's going to be very different. So just to show you, this is also with chalk paint. Okay, this is the same. I have added less color over here. I plan to add a little bit more color over here. But then you could obviously restrict your colors only in certain areas. So that will give you that look which I just showed. So now I am quite happy with how the color look. Now I just want to add a little bit of brown just because my plan is to create more of a vintagey vintagey background, right? Now here I will use liquid acrylics. Now I'll use liquid acrylics because this is transparent in nature. So whatever colors are below it, that will show through. when I do this on top of it, right? So that is why I'm going to use liquid acrylics and not chalk paint for brown. Again, I'll do the same technique. I will take some paint. Let me just clean this. Yeah. Now, ideally, I never clean this. I just put it on the next page. So I have a background for next page. But just since, we are doing a live, I have kind of cleaned it out. Now, remember, liquid acrylics are extremely vibrant. So it is always advisable that, you start with less paint and more water. And you can gradually increase the quantity of paint as and when you want. Yeah, Parvati, it gives really unique results. And the best part is you will never be able to replicate the same thing. So I feel it really works beautifully. So now that we have our background ready, which is our first step. So first step is we primed it with gesso and we colored our page using some shades of your choice. It could be liquid acrylics, it could be liquid watercolors, or like in today's case, it is chalk paints. Next step is to add some interest in your page, right? Because this as is just looks like a watercolored page. So I want to add some more interest on this page. So for that, I'll use stamps. You could also use stencils. However, in today's Crafty Gupshup episode, I thought we'll do it with stamps. So what I want to do is I want to make this page more masculine and this page more feminine. So I'm going to use like more masculine designs here and more feminine designs here. So for masculine, I have decided to use this argyle stamp and this crackle stamp. Both of these are mini stamps by Craft Angles. On this side, I'll use one is this dot, and the other one I'll use, which I use a lot of time, which you have already seen me doing, is this musical notes. And here I may use old newspaper, like I'm not sure, we'll see how it goes. So this is what I plan to do. Now, what I did not like in my last layout was the amount of black stamping that was there in the page. It felt very like it was very new as opposed to the background, which looks very old, right? So what I'm doing is this time I'm using a gray color. So this is a Memento ink called London Fog. It's a light gray color that I normally use. Yeah, Crackle is a very versatile stamp again, so I agree. So I'm going to use this waterproof ink pad in the gray shade. You could use any ink pad of your choice. I'm using Memento. Okay. And I don't have an acrylic block right now because I don't want to do a very even stamping. I kind of want to not have even stamping, that will kind of give it another old look. So that's a technique that I use a lot in my project. And now whatever is left over, I'll just put it on my next page. Yeah. The next thing that I'll do is add some crackles. So for that, I'll use this crackle stamp. Again, remember, I don't want to like cover all the area, just little bit of interest here and there. And whatever is excess, I will put it. Next up, I'll use this old newspaper. So this is like a newspaper print, and this I want to show like certain sections, like this particular Carta Postal section. So I will stamp that properly, and here I want to show like old newspaper kind of a look. Hi Vinita, welcome. So I have used like Argyle, Crackle, and old newspaper because I feel all these stamps kind of resonate with masculine projects. So that is why I have used, and at the same time they are quite vintagey. Now again leftover will go in a future project. Okay. So that was old newspaper. Now we'll move on to the left part. Now left I will start with this dot grunge. Thank you, Vinita. It's one of my personal as well. Actually, all mixed media ones are my personal. Like honestly, I could love using any of them, but script and old newspaper have their own charm. So here I am kind of, creating a triangle focal point and using stamps. Now this was dot grunge. Yeah. And then I may use some schematics. Okay. So I'll use this as well. This is schematics background. Another one of my favorite, very like very unique in itself, very unique to our brand, the design. So you see, just by using my gray stamp pad, it already looks like second generation stamping, even though this is like a first generation stamping that we did, right? So that is a good hack. Like if you have a stamp set, ink pad, sorry, in gray color, always keep it, invest in it, because that will help you with creating mixed media and art journal layouts. So now I have that. I'll add my final stamp, which is musical notes. So this is how it looks. It has this musical note kind of a print. Again, I'm not stamping the whole stamp. I'm only stamping certain areas, and I'm not even inking all the areas. Like I'm kind of inking only certain areas which I think I want. And I'm not putting a lot of pressure as well. So that will give you uneven stamping. Okay. So that's it. That's all the stamping that we are going to do. Now we'll move on to adding print on top of our page, right? So for print adding, what we'll be using are these transfers. So on this page, I'm going to use these small, what are these called? The small mandalas. So this is 303 transfer it. Then on this page, I'm going to use this beautiful rose pattern because I wanted to kind of repeat the pink and yellows in pattern as well. So this is watercolor roses, transfer it, and the code is 160. And apart from that, just to show you, I have kept one transfer it. I have not kind of cut it, just to show you how it looks. So this is how it comes in the package. You get one transfer it, and at the back you have instructions on how to use it. You also have a QR code which will take you to the video tutorial on how to use it. So I'll use this. I'm going to take this pattern because I really like it. So I thought I'll use that. Since this is a square, it's fairly easy to cut. You'll see that all transfer rates have their designs which are inverted. So all the writing is inverted. because it's going to be applied face down. Now here I tried out new technique today which gave really beautiful vintage effects when you apply transfers, okay? And you're going to hate me for it, but here is how it goes, that you take this, you crumple your transfer it, okay? Crumple it nicely. Don't worry, I have already tried it out on a couple of pages before doing this, so it will work out. And then you open it, okay? So this is how it looks, again opened. And now I will remove the plastic backing of my transfers. Here is the backing that opens up, and here you can see how crumpled it is, right? So I'll stick this face down in the area where I want to add my pattern, which is going to be here. Okay, and then kind of smoothen it out while applying on the top of your page. Okay. What this does is this will give you a completely beautiful wrinkled aged look while you remove this, transfer it without putting any effort. And it will also help in creating more cracks because this will kind of create air gap while you are sticking your transfer it on top of the paper. So now I'll take some clean water and I will take a sponge. So this sponge is with water that I've filled with clean water, and I will apply it on top of the paper. Yeah, Parvati, even that was my reaction when I tried it the first time. But I really wanted to see how it came out, and it worked out beautifully. Like it gave beautiful wrinkles. Now, for more wrinkles, I always keep the transfer it, let it react with water for a couple of seconds more than what you normally do. Now, this is just to add more wrinkles and to create more vintage look with your existing transfers. Okay, so if you are doing a normal transfer, you should remove your paper. But since I want more cracks and more vintage effect, I'm letting it react with more water, which will give me more cracks. Okay, now I'll do the same thing on the left side. While this reacts with water, we'll do it on the left side. Again, crumple. Don't be scared. Crumple your transfer it. Okay. If you feel that there are less crumples, you can always go back and add more. Okay. Open it again. Okay. Remove the backing. Straighten out your paper as much as you can. Okay. And then stick it in the place how you want it to be. Like I'm thinking I'll do it like this. Okay. Trust me, it will come out beautifully, Parvati. It will give another aged look. So now I'm kind of just putting pressure and making sure it's stuck to my paper. I'm not being very perfectionist that it lays flat, because even if it doesn't, it is just going to add cracks to my transfer, which is fine, which is what I want. However, if you are doing it normally, you should make sure it's perfectly laid flat out, like how we did in our decoupage crafty gupshup session, right? Same thing you'll have to follow. So now same thing, I'll let this react for a couple of seconds, and meanwhile I'm good to now remove this part. Okay, you can see transfer it comes off beautifully. Okay, and we will dry this now. I'll take a heat gun. Now guys, if you want more cracks, you should let this air dry. This will give you even more cracks. Now, just for the sake of video, I cannot let this air dry because I want to proceed to next step. But see, this is what I was saying. Do you see this big bubble on the top? Now, if I kind of squish it, it will kind of add to the wrinkles and tear. So do you see that tear that has come over here? So that ways, you can add wrinkles, you can add cracks to your transfer it. Now this, if you don't let it air dry, like if you let this air dry, like how we did in our last decoupage thing, this will give you beautiful cracks. Do you see all these beautiful cracks over here? Let me just zoom in. Do you see all these cracks came on after a day? Let me just, yeah. Eh, So do you see those white areas around the flowers here? That all is the cracks that have come in. Now this cracks built up after a day or so of this completely air drying. Okay. And here I wanted to show you the wrinkles. So do you see all those cracks and wrinkles that have come? Let me just, yeah. And because of the bubble, do you see that big tear that has come on the page? So that ways, you can make your vintage transfers more vintage. You can add wrinkles to them by letting them react more with water. You can add cracks in them. So now I'll remove this as well. Let this sit for a little bit too long. So now it is causing me pain, but not a problem. Okay. So don't let it sit this long or else you'll have issues while removing the pattern. But it was fine, not a problem. We were able to remove it, and now I'll dry this. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of taking my paper roll and drying this. Okay, same thing I'll do here. Don't put a lot of pressure. You don't want to stick your paper roll inside the on top of the paper. Just like roll it like how you roll balloon. Right. So now just to show you, because this reacted more with water, right? So this gave me cracks right away. So do you see all those beautiful cracks and wrinkles? I'll take it to the top. So do you see that in brown especially it should be visible in the brown leaves? So this looks like, old paper print that is there on top of the journal. And all you did was kind of scrunched up your transfers and let it react with water for some more time. Okay. Next up, what I'm doing is I'm going to add this little bit of blue accents on top of my page. Again, I'll do the same thing. I'll scrunch it up. Okay. Yeah, I honestly like both the sides. I'm partial. What can I say? But they have come out. Actually, I like the colors in the blue and I like transfers in the pink. So, yeah. So I'll cut it off in half. Okay. And then I'll use it. So what we'll be doing is And then I will take another half, remove the backing, okay, and do it. Okay. I'll also take this. Yes, guys, tell us, pink or blue? Which side are you on? I think that is it. I will use two of them. Later on, we'll see if we need third one. Okay. And now I'll do the same technique. I'll wet this with water. Okay. Come on, guys, which is your favorite, pink or blue? Tell me. While I wait for these transfers to react with water. Now I'll remove this. Gaurav is team blue. Yeah, because of the old newspaper print, I'm sure he is team blue. So now this is again, we'll do the same thing. We'll roll and yeah. And Parvati, me and you are team pink. So I feel we are in a tie right now. Vaishali is pink. Okay. Three people pink. So now what happened is that, I feel that stamping got kind of lost. So I'll do some more stamping just so that it comes off. And for that now I'll use some black. But again, not a lot of pressure while stamping, kind of keeping it light. Okay. So, and I'll put this on another page. And then I will use musical notes. Okay. We are doing stamping again because I feel, stamping kind of got lost on top of our transfers. So I'm just adding some print here and there. Now, if you would have done this stamping with a black ink, then you would not have needed to do this. Since I tried gray just to see if, it kind of toned it down, I now feel that I need to add a little black. That is why I'm doing it. Okay. And then we'll take crackle and we will add little. Yes, Vaishali, indeed. So now that actually I know where the transfers are also located, it is easier for me to stamp in areas where I want it. So I know the areas where I want the print to go also. And then I'll take argyle just to add a little interest of argyle. But you should actually be able to see all this subtle stamping as well, below the layers. So that also adds interest. Now remember guys, if you are doing art journal and it's just one layer, right? With art journal you are not adding a lot of bulk, especially such kind of thin art journals. In these cases, always think of how without adding layers you can add interest. So for that, it could be that, stamp multiple times with multiple kind of inks, do some stenciling and more stenciling one on top of each other with different paste. So it could be many things that you could do. So just think of all those ideas. Correct, Parvati. It kind of it brings in everything together, ties everything. So yeah, I'm happy with how this has turned out. Now I'll just dry this quickly. So do you see those bubbles that are forming because of the wrinkles? Yeah. So you can kind of pop those bubbles and that will add more wrinkles, or you can let them sit and in a day or two they'll automatically subside and create wrinkles. So that is our transfer it now. And now let us talk focal point. So because this question is something which we got a lot of time when even with our customers as well as on my DM. So I thought we'll for a minute talk about focal points, right? So focal point can be many things in art journal and mixed media. So the rose wala transfer sheet is watercolor roses to Parvati, and the code is CTDTS 160. 160 number transfer it. Watercolor roses too. Thank you, Aishali. That stamps, the stamps are my favorite as well. Now coming to the focal point, right? So these are my collection of focal points that I wanted to show you. So it could be like an old picture, like what I'm using over here. So these are all old pictures of my father and their grandparents, my grandparents. So this is something that you can use in your art journal. However, I don't use them because in my art journal, I make them for videos and tutorials. So I don't like to share personal images. I do use them when I am making like personalized thing, like how I use this picture for my father's art journal that I made for him for the Father's Day, which we did in our last episode, right? So I do use them now and then, but not more frequently. Now here is the uh, Prima, like it's all broken, so don't mind, but this is how it looks. This is Prima vintage book. Similar to this, you have Tim Holtz film strip vintage photos. I think that's what it is called. So this has like a collection of old photos that you can use, and this is what I have used in a couple of my art journal pages. Next up is these kind of paper dolls which are already cut in a shape, so kind of you get more ideas on how to use them. Again, I use this quite frequently. They are available in couple of sizes and shapes. Now all this product that I'm talking about, all of them are available on our website, which is handmade.com, so you can check it there. And if they are out of stock, they kind of get they get it back in stock as soon as our next shipment comes. So they do go back in stock, so don't worry about that. Now this is another such kind of focal point which I like to use in my art journal. However, this is kind of like rice paper, so this is not going to be opaque. This is going to be translucent like your transfer sheets. Okay, so whatever colors are below that, it will show through. So if you want more of a opaque, you will have to actually stick this on a white paper and then use them on your project. Again, these stickers are also available in stationery sections. Now these are two books, you could say, which has a lot of elements used a lot of times by a lot of stationery people. It's a crowd favorite when it comes to stationaries and journaling. So this is how it looks. It has like a complete book which has color wise elements in it. Again, this is translucent, it is not opaque. So if you want to have a opaque design, you'll have to first stick this on a paper and then white paper and then fussy cut it. But this is how the books look. So one is more vintagey and other is more colorful. Again, both of them are available on our website. It's loved by crafters. So these are all the options that we had before Craft Angles started art journaling range, right? Because as I told you, we like to bring out products in each and every range. And now we have, with our two releases that we did, we have a lot of options for focal point in Craft Angles as well. So this is Vintage Ladies, which I have used here. This is Craft Angles sticker, which I have used here. Then you have mug shots, where I have made a couple of projects. Parvati has made a couple of projects. Mona Lisa has made projects using Vintage Ladies mug shots. Then you have kind of colorful things. So this is shades of blue, shades of greens, which you could use. You also have something floral that you could use as focal point. So there are many options that you can choose to create focal point. It depends on, what kind of projects you like to make. For today, we'll be using mug shots on our art journal. So on right side, we'll be using a guy. On left side, we'll be using a female. Yeah, I am woman. I am woman wala Parvati saying, yeah. So I forgot to show you, but this is the I am woman one, and this is the shades of green. And then we have some travel themed as well and some silhouettes as well. So there are many options now in terms of focal point. Thank you, Vinita. So for this particular project, I'm going to use this mug shots because I really like this vintage look of pictures that I have. So I'm just going to browse through and decide which one I want to use. I'll probably use this. No, it's merging. So I'll use this particular character and then this lady. I'll use this lady. Okay. So these are the two stickers. This comes like in a pack of 25. So you get 25 different stickers for this. And this is what I'll use. Now you can see, clearly that this is kind of merging. So what can we do to kind of break the merging that happens, right? You can do some doodling here. Or what I like to do is use some old laces like this. Okay, so you can use old laces, threads. Now I can use even die cuts. I have a collection of dies as well. However, I wanted to make it from a perspective that, what everybody could use. Now laces is something which is easily available in Indian market, right? So you will get this in any clothes store you go. And it's quite cheap for people in India. So I thought, why not use these as a thing which will kind of break the pattern and make my character stand out even more. Okay, so this is what I'll do. So you can immediately see that it kind of breaks and it adds more vintagey element on top of my project, and it kind of brings this to the focus as compared to the background pattern. You can also add these kind of threads in the project. Okay, that is what we'll do. We'll add thread and we will add ribbon in our project today. Okay, so I will take this lace. Now you won't believe, but this is not a lace I bought. This is from my mom's old dress that she was throwing away, and I told her, "Yaar, mujhe lace de do." And she was like, "When will you stop this? Accumulating all the junk." So this lace comes from my mom's old dress, and now I'll use this thread, white thread. You could also use twines like Handmade has a huge collection of twines, colorful twines, simple twines, paper twines, different style that you could use. However, since the whole idea of this particular project is to not add bulk, I'm just adding some threads. Again, you can see I'm kind of just creating a pattern. Like I'm not worried about, creating a shape or anything like that. This is just another element that I can add, which is very easily available in India and which lays very flat. So now to stick all this, I personally like to use red tape because glue takes time to dry, and I don't have time to just wait while the glue dries. So I prefer to use red tacky tape because it is extremely strong adhesive. Yeah, I'll add that, and I will add the thread here and there. Okay, I'll eyeball where I want my character. Okay, I'll add some here. Same Mona Lisa. My mom, she was just throwing the sari. She was actually going to give it to someone, or she thought, she'll make something out of it. I was like, Mom, what are you going to do about the lace? It's all old and it looks brown, so you're not going to use it. So she's like, yeah, I'm going to throw the lace. I said, no, you have to give me the lace. I will use it in my project. And I've been using this lace in my complete art journal. And then I went ahead and I showed it to her that, do you see your lace? This is where I use them. And she's like, Khyati, tu kabadi hi rahegi. See, Paro also said the same word. My mom tells that I'm a kabadi wala. She literally thinks I'm a kabadi wala. She's like, what all junk do you collect? Now I will take some glue. I did the glue. Okay. So I'll take some liquid glue to stick my lace. Okay. I feel that this lace is too wide. So we will kind of break off the section that I want. Okay. So I'll in fact use the more brown side because it looks cool. And for this laces, I mean, I'm fine with using liquid glue because they stay in place. The threads actually go all over the place, and that is why I prefer to use red tacky tape. So this is kind of a junk journal come art journal, you could say. We are kind of combining both art as well as junk. Okay. So now what I'll do is I'll cut the man first. I don't want such long picture on my threads to show through. So I'm kind of pulling them outside. Okay. And I need to add more thread. My hubby thankfully doesn't tell me that, but my mom does. He knows now there is no option. I'll just add a little bit of tape over here because I want to add more white. The thread. Okay, it's here. Now this looks nice. Now I'll take some foam tape. That's the only dimension I'm adding in my entire page, guys. So what I'm doing is, instead of sticking this flat, because you know it will not stick flat because there are certain laces also has a slight bulk. So for that I'm using a foam tape, and I will be using this as a cardstock rather than a sticker, the mugshot thing. So I'll not remove the sticker backing of it. So this is how it looks. Okay, and then we'll add sentiments and stuff like that. I'll quickly complete the left part as well. So we'll do the exact same thing here as well. Thank you, Nadia. And the best part about, creating these kind of journaling is obviously they are therapeutic, but you can also like kind of make this into a paper bag. Like I know in lot of mixed media artists make customized paper bag for their friends to put their gifts in, and just doing, rather than just doing an art journal, you could also do the same layout on a canvas, on a paper bag, etc., for your friends and family, and give them something handmade inside it, like for a festival, like for Diwali or Christmas. I'll do the same thing. I'll just add a little bit of threads here and there. I'm just eyeballing where my character is going to go, so that the threads show through. I'll add the piece of lace. It's the same piece of lace that we cut off. I'll use the same one. You could always, tint your laces as well. Like you could color this brown to make it stand out even more. You could also do that. In my case, I wanted to keep it very organic and simple, but you could also do that. Use one from Girl Wala on pink side na. I actually wanted to keep it vintage, but ठीक है चलो. We'll use a Girl Wala. So we will do. Which one should I do, Parvati? Tell me. Guys, tell me. Mona Lisa, Parvati, Nadia, Vinita. Which one should I use? These are the options. My table is full. Alright. So which one? I'll use that one. Whoever comments first, I will use that one. Tell me, guys, which one should I use? These are all the available options. Me, guys, which one? Which pink color one should I use? Which will look good? I mean, honestly, everything will look good. Handbag wala girl. Okay. Handbag wala, which one? This one? Green wala? Acha, but first coffee. Acha, everybody is saying the girl with the purse. Which one? But there are two handbag wala actually. Teen handbag wala actually. I'll remove the others. Curly hair ones. Curly hair ones. Good point. So I think I'll go with this, but first coffee, curly bhi hai, handbag bhi hai, so everybody is happy. Paro, see, this is you, but first coffee. So do you relate to that as well? So this is what we'll use here. Now I want more, again the same thing. I want more threads to show through on the right side. So I'll add a little bit of tape. But good thought, huh, Mona Lisa. I did not think of that. Good idea. We should do curly girl. Curly haired girl, I mean to say. So I'm just adding a little bit of tape here so that I can add a little bit of more thread, and then we'll add the same thing, we'll add the character. I'll add foam tape on top of this. I'm going to add another interesting thing here. I forgot this one. Add later. So this is how it looks. Now we'll add sentiments. For sentiments, like we have a lot of options again, right? Under craft angles now, due to our recent journaling launches. So we have journal words, which are black and white stickers, and we can also use transparent stickers. So I'm thinking that this already has a sentiment, right? So uh, I'm thinking, what should we use? Today is your day. I think today is your day. We'll go with but first coffee. Kind of self motivating yourself. That कॉफी दे दो फिर आज का दिन तो मेरा ही है. We'll use that here. Okay. On the left side, how I like to use with mugshots is that I kind of like to put a center coat over here and then a secondary coat in the uh, bottom or top. So what I want to use is embark. So it is more of like a embark on your journey and things like that. So you could also use journey. That's the best part about our journal words. Every word has a meaning behind it. So you could honestly use any one of them and you could not go wrong. So I'll use embark here, and I'll kind of cut it first in half. Okay. So it doesn't have to look like a mugshot, guys. You can always add your own word and make it more personalized, like how I did over here. So this looks like that guy is carrying a placard saying embark. And then I will say it's the journey. Okay. That was a sentiment sheet which I used, and here I'll use transparent stickers. because I just when I was removing sentiments for this project, I realized that I have never used transparent stickers in live ever. So I thought, right time to use them. Now, another way to use transparent stickers is, let's say you don't want a transparent sticker. You rather want a white background to make it stand more, like how, for example, over here, right? Then you don't need to remove this backing, just stick this with glue as is. So you can also use it like a white, black and white kind of a thing instead of a transparent thing. Okay. I am going to use it as how it is meant to be, like a transparent thing. So this is going to say trust the journey. And then this is going to say today is your day. So that I'll put here. Always I do, whenever I do live, I realize my nail biting habits come to bite me in live. Because I need to use knife always to remove the backing. So that is what we'll be using in today's, sentiments. Now, another cool texture that you can add, which, I was dying to show you guys, is how to use seals, right? So Parvati had shown you how to use seals in one of her first mixed media project. Now I thought let us show you how to use them in journal as well, because trust me guys, they will alleviate your project to another level. So it's always fun to add such kind of things, different things which will make your project different, and which will bring in a lot of interest. So this what how I do is, I'll show you just for a second how I do it, and then I'll take it away from the camera. So this is a kind of a candle I use to do wax seal. I have this wax spoon. Again, all the products that I'm talking about, they are all available on crafted handmade website. So we have a separate category for wax seals, where you will find everything related to wax seal there. So you can get these kind of bigger waxes as well, or you can also use these kind of small, small bottles as well. So this is how they come in. And today we'll be using this because I wanted to use a silver color. And then you have these kind of stamps. These are metal stamps which you use with wax seals. So super huge collection we have of wax seals. Now I have a couple of wax seals. I decided to use this emblem one because it literally screamed vintage to me, and it would look extremely pretty once used. So this is how it comes. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll take couple of, like, okay. I'll heat this up quickly. And while this heats up, I'm thinking of where I'm going to put the seal. Okay. So it does take a couple of seconds to start melting because my spoon is cold right now. But once your spoon becomes hot, it goes fairly quickly. So if you are doing sealing, I would always suggest, do kind of multiple seals together. So they will make your life easier. So I'm thinking I'll put a seal here. It will look interesting. You can see it has already started melting. Now I would ideally suggest, do this in well ventilated space, because it does release some fumes, which is normal to waxes. But I'm just doing 2 seals, so it's fine. If you're doing like 50, 60 seals, do it in open area. Yeah, Agreed. So this is a good tool if even if you are a mixed media or art journal artist, do wax seals. They would genuinely look beautiful on your project, guys. Trust me. And they are not very expensive also. It's like comparatively, it's a cheaper. Okay. So I'll let this dry. Now I'll add a couple of more for the next side of the page. I'll have to clean my spoon. Just a second. And then we'll put it over here. Now to put it over here, I'll have to hold it to keep it straight because I don't want my wax to run in one direction. Okay. You also get ready seals also, like, you don't have to worry about cutting and all those. So that is why I'm using these kind of ready wax seal beads. So it's very easy to do. All you need is one, and it's even perfect for like those people who do handmade stuff, like, to mark envelopes to make it more personalized. You can also do that. So see, it has already dried over here. I'm able to touch, and do you see how beautiful this pattern has come? So this looks like a vintage page where someone has kind of stamped the vintage look. So I'll close this part. It's almost dry. Just a second more. Oops. So yeah, that was the page. I really feel, this kind of waxes, seals and stuff like that, especially if you're doing a vintage art journal, a vintage themed decoupage project, or a vintage theme mixed media canvas like how Parvati did, right? It really alleviates your project. It takes it to another level without adding a lot of bulk. So it's fairly flat. It does not add a lot of bulk in space, like it does not take a lot of space in your journal, and it looks beautiful when you see the whole pattern because it's completely unique in itself, this look. So that is how it looks. Ideally I should have gone with a gold or bronze here, but I'll have to clean a spoon in between, so I did not do that. So here is how it looks. I'll show you in close up. So do you see that whole seal, how it looks? And here is the page that we did, the pink side, and I'll show you the blue side as well. So that was all the detailing and a very shabby chic kind of an art journal project which I wanted to do, and I'll be sharing close-ups etc soon. And for just a minute, before I change the camera, I also wanted to show you the next project that we'll be doing. Now, since Father's Day is around the corner, I thought next Saturday let's make some Father's Day stuff. So for that, I'll be using this Father's Day transfer it for some fun, cool. Like, let's see, I have not yet decided what I'm going to make, but this is the Father's Day transfer it that I'll be using, and I'll be using these craft angle stamps, Father's Day stamps. So I was thinking we would use that in our next project, and we'll do kind of a combination of decoupage and card making, or only card making, like I mean tags, etc. So I was just playing around with ideas. I've not yet decided on what we'll do it. So let's see. Thank you, Shivani. Yeah, gold wax. Yeah, I actually want to, but gold wax. I'll take a gold texture paste. Meanwhile, gold texture paste. I don't know where my gold wax is, but of course, I can use texture paste like wax and do it. So I'll do that meanwhile. Let me add that. That will kind of alleviate through. So I'll go back and I'll just add a little bit of gold shimmer. I'll take some. So this is another hack for you all, for those of you who don't have waxes, because it's primarily more of a mixed media thing. You could definitely use gold texture paste like how I did. So I actually used gold texture paste and I applied it like a wax, and it effectively gives me the same look. So you could always do that in case you don't have waxes. So yes, that was the project for today. Next week I plan to do some Father's Day projects. So I was kind of brainstorming what I'm going to do. Don't mind the packaging; it's my personal pack, so it's very shabbily packed. But this is the stamps that I plan to use, and this is the transfer it that I'm going to use. This is a Father's Day transfer it that I'll use, and I plan to make some cool projects. So I hope you'll join me next week as well, when we make such cool Father's Day project. And I hope you enjoyed what we did today. It was a very impromptu thing. And I honestly did what I like, which is vintage journals. And thank you, Mona Lisa. I mean, I was really, honestly, I was kind of thinking what should I do for today's session, and it was more of an impromptu thing. So I'm so happy that you guys like the live, because that's the whole idea. And yeah, even patina metallic will work, as Parvati said. So that's more copper color. Since you guys asked gold color, I have used gold. But definitely you can use any paint like waxes, by rubbing it through hand, if that is something that you want, instead of actually spending money on wax. Of course, if you are more of a seasoned artist to do a lot of mixed media and decoupage, it is a must have. But let's say, if you are just starting and don't want to invest, you can always get away with using such kind of metallic texture paste. So that was the project for today, guys. I'll be posting the details of the project soon on Instagram and Facebook. And for those of you who missed out part of it and who want to see, we will be saving the live streams on our YouTube, where we went live. So after I think after half an hour or 1 hour, you should be able to see the videos in YouTube on both our handmade channel and Khyati Kothari channel, and you should also be able to see the same on Facebook. And I'll meet you next week with another crafty project, Father's Day project, since it's coming soon. And thank you guys for being live. And thank you, Nadia. Thank you, Shivani. Thank you, Parvati, Mona Lisa, for always making it to all my lives. And thank you, Vinita. Thank you for such good words. I'm hoping, that lives are more entertaining for you as and when we go ahead. And, you guys enjoy and learn at the same time. Till the next live, guys, take care. Bye.